guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to review for you the new IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores primer that was just released recently at Sephora. So if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts about this primer and seeing how it compares to some other primers, then just keep on watching. Alright, so the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores primer was just recently released at Sephora, I believe also Ulta and itcosmetics.com, and it's $38 and it's a 1 ounce primer, so you actually get a ton of product for the cost. It is a little bit more primer, you get more product than some other primers, and a little definitely goes a long way with this primer. When I went to use it for the first time, I put like a blob, maybe a quarter size or maybe like a dime size amount, but really you just need like a little tiny dot. Even that is good for my whole face. I'll put like probably twice or 3 times that the first couple times I tried it. So it did actually take me a little while to get used to this primer because I'm actually used to using so much more with my Hangover RX, which is my go-to primer. You guys know I talk about that all the time, but I find that this product is a lot more concentrated than some other primers, so a little bit definitely goes a long way because just when I start to blend it out, you guys can see that ends up being like a lot of product, so you really just need a little bit. So this primer is oil-free. It claims to be weightless, mattifying, and pore filling. I find that it does do all those things, but it's very different than any other primer that I have. So I wanted to compare it to some primers that I use every single day. The Hangover RX, which you guys know I use literally every single day, but also the Benefit Porefessional, because a lot of you guys were asking me every time I've been using this, like in tutorials or on Instagram, how it compares to the Porefessional. And just for reference, the Benefit Porefessional and the Makeup Forever Smoothing one, to me they're basically the exact same thing. So I find that those are very similar, but this is very different than this, and it's very different than like a water-based primer like this. This does have dimethicone, so it is a silicone-based primer. Dimethicone is just what is used to like fill your pores and make it look like more airbrushed and flawless. So if you guys are sensitive to those products, just know that this does have silicone in it. It is not water-based like the Hangover RX or like any other hydrating, more lotion kind of primer. So this is a silicone-based primer, just like the Porefessional, the Makeup Forever Smoothing, and the Smashbox Pore Minimizing. All of those have silicones in it, so this does have products in it to fill in your pores like those products, but it's also more hydrating. So I almost find that this primer is kind of like a mix of these, like you get the benefits of both, but with that being like a mix of both of these, it's also like a diluted version of each one of these. So if you need something that's like super pore minimizing, use something like the Porefessional, the Makeup Forever Smoothing, or the Pore Minimizing from Smashbox. And if you need something super hydrating, just use something that's more water-based. But if you want to get like the best of both worlds, that's where this primer comes in. So I did swatch all 3 of these primers to give you guys a comparison: the IT Cosmetics, the Porefessional, and the Hangover RX, just so you guys can see like the different textures. They are all very different textures. This is a lot more lightweight than the Porefessional, but it's a lot more creamy and it has more texture to it than the Hangover RX or anything that's more water-based. But if you do have large pores or fine lines that you really want to diminish, I would recommend the Porefessional over this because I feel like this is not as strong as a Porefessional. Like the effect isn't as strong. I feel like with the Porefessional or any other pore minimizing primer, it like seals in your pores so you cannot see them at all. This does minimize them, but this doesn't like completely erase them or like have that illusion on your face. So I would suggest using the Porefessional or something else if you are looking for something specifically for like enlarged pores. But if you have like enlarged pores and you want to cover them up, but you also have dry skin and you haven't had any luck with a Porefessional or other primers like that, then I would recommend this because this is like almost like a softer primer. Like it's more nourishing, it's more hydrating, and it's better for sensitive skin, I would think, than the Porefessional, especially if you have like dry patches, and like those pore minimizing primers can sometimes emphasize that. This is something that would probably cover that up a little bit easier, and it's also something that it's not going to like cling onto those patches. So I would recommend that if that's the case for you guys, if you need something for pore minimizing but you also have drier skin. So overall, I do recommend this primer if you want something that's lightweight but still pore minimizing, which is exactly why I need a primer like this. Some other primers are just a little too heavy for me, but if you need something hydrating, then I definitely recommend the Hangover RX or just using another moisturizer underneath. So overall, this is a really good primer, and it actually actually does make your makeup last all day. I don't find that it like breaks up or looks patchy or anything throughout the day whenever I use this primer. Alright guys, so that's everything for today's video. Please let me know if you've tried this IT Cosmetics primer or what your favorite primer is in the comments down below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.